make my prototypes for the spacer plate. Okay, we've got our little block of putty, and of course just a reminder, I'm making this plastic block as something I can then put on my mill and mill out a good rectangular piece. So it's going to form the base. Of course, it'll all be working out about the size of my gasket. And I needed to do some calculations. It's really easy when you're making mold material for rectangles. What I do first is measure this piece as a rectangle, and it tells me roughly how much space it's going to take in the mold. And then I calculate the mold space completely, decide how much in the way of weight that the mold material will take, and then I can subtract what the actual object is. In this case, the object itself would take about the space of a pound of material. The total space that I have measured out for this mold would take about 1.9 pounds. So I'm going to mix up about a pound of mold material and expecting it to have a great deal of space taken up by the object itself that I'm making a mold of. I'm getting ready to put my layout on the foam board, because on the foam board is where we're going to build our box to pour our mold. And sometimes I use a compass. I didn't really have to make it perfect, but it will be 6 inches in one direction in the length, and probably 5 inches, if I remember correctly, 5 inches in the width. And once I get this drawn up, I'll be able to assemble the box in enough area that will give me some room around the putty block. And I'm not making it perfect, and it's just enough to make the block, because I am going to put it on a milling machine and cut this down. So now let's get the block put together. And what I'll be doing is building my box out of these pieces of wood that I made to make molds. This is obviously for a taller requirement, but it will work with this. So I'll be putting these together like so. I'll be using clamps, and what happens is after I get the whole piece put together with clamps and the shape I want, I'll go down with a glue gun and seal it up, maybe put some extra putty on top of that, and we'll be pretty close to getting ready to pour for the mold. The box is now made. I've got that big clump of clay stuck down in the middle of it, and now we're going to do a little mixing up. Mix up our mold material. Alright, so now we've mixed up our mold material, and we're going to pour it in and see just how far or how close we were with our calculations. I also put this in a vacuum chamber and degassed it. Now this particular batch is a little old. I'm pretty sure it's going to be okay for my application. Looks like it's going to do just fine. As long as we have no leaks. And I'm going to scoop it out. Some guys like to just leave a little bit for pulling it out purposes, but I want just enough to do the job. And there's always enough at the bottom. This stuff here has a pot life of about 45-50 minutes. And I think that's probably enough. Okay, gotta wait about 4 hours. See what happens. Yeah, let's see, here we go. After 4 hours, about 4 hours and 10 minutes. There's my mold. Next time, we're going to put this in the pressure chamber with some resin and start making blocks of plastic where I'm going to make my prototypes for the spacer plate. Thanks for watching.